Hey there, I'm so glad you are curious about what's happening in the Everett housing market this June. As we know, our Everett community is constantly growing and changing, and for many of us, our homes here represent one of our biggest, most important investments. You might remember those headlines back from 2008. Do you remember that, maybe? Back then, we saw very real and painful price drops, waves of foreclosures, and homes that simply sat on the market for months with no offers. It was a deeply challenging time for many, and it definitely left its mark as a big event that affected a lot of people. Today, when you read some of those national headlines, especially the national ones, it can maybe feel like we might be heading back in that direction. But here is the crucial difference. Real estate is always hyperlocal. What's happening in one part of the country or even across the Puget Sound is not necessarily what's happening right here in Everett. If you are a homeowner trying to make sense of where things are actually standing today, it really just helps to take a look back in history, in time, and also at what's happening locally and currently. It will show us how unique and robust our Everett market truly is now compared to those past challenges. If you really want to see how far Everett has come, this graph tells an amazing story. Back in 2006, the home price median was sitting around $320,000. Then came the downturn, and by 2011, we saw that number dip all the way down to $215,000. This is a really stark reminder of how much things can actually shift. But what's happened since is pretty incredible for homeowners. By 2020, we were back in the mid 400,000s. In 2021, Everett really jumped, hitting $625,000. Yes, we did have some unusual circumstances, the pandemic, and also historically low mortgage rates. But guess what? The median resale home price in Everett now is coming in at $710,000. Even with the ups and downs along the way, the long-term trend in home values in Everett have grown steadily and significantly over time. So if you've been in your home for a while, there is a really good chance you have built up some serious equity. And that, my friend, truly opens the door to new possibilities. Whether that's a lifestyle shift, maybe you're finally wanting to get into a home that actually fits your current needs now, or even getting closer to family. It's all about choices. Now, let's also talk about what's coming into the market and actually what's moving. In May, Everett saw 267 new listings, which is a little more than we saw last year. And total number of homes for sale, that actually reached 324 homes. That's more than double from May of last year. And in fact, it's the highest May inventory Everett has seen in nearly a decade. Now on the selling side, 167 homes went under contract, which was right on pace with last year, and 161 homes closed. Again, steady, but still a bit lower than what we're used to seeing before 2020. Back then, we'd actually see about 250 or more homes selling each May. Homes are absolutely still selling, which is fantastic news. But with more choices out there, buyers are definitely becoming more selective. That is why preparation, precise pricing, and stunning presentation matter even more than before. It's about making your home the standout home. So is the market heading for another crash? Honestly, it's a valid question, especially if you lived through 2008. So let's take a look at what data is actually saying comparing 2008 to today. Back in 2008, Everett had over 1,000 homes for sale and only 98 went pending. Homes sat on average for about 53 days, and we had almost 8 months of inventory. That was definitely a distressed market, no doubt about it. This May, with the 324 homes for sale and 167 under contract, our average market time is just 6 days, and we're coming in with just about 2 months available months of inventory. That is a big difference between 2008. This is actually a rebalancing market. So we're shifting from a seller's strong market to a more neutral, balanced market where buyers are actually able to negotiate. So make sure that your home is positioned well in order to be one of the competitive homes out there. You might be wondering how Everett stacks up against the rest of our incredible region. Here is a bit of the bigger picture. Snohomish County overall now has a median home price of $835,000, which is up almost 2.5% from last year. But Everett really outpaced that with an impressive 6% gain. And over in King County, the median actually saw a slight dip from $1,025,000 down to $985,000. So what is this telling us? While some parts of the wider Seattle area are cooling slightly, Everett is not just holding steady, we're actually outperforming the county average. It's a powerful reminder that real estate is always local. Let's dive a little bit deeper into what price points are actually moving in Everett. Here's the breakdown of all the different price ranges, and there are quite a lot of 11s being sold in between different price brackets. What's really important to note is this tells us that a good portion, 64 buyers, purchased homes under the Snohomish County median of $835,000. But importantly, 33 buyers bought at or above. So if your home is priced in that sweet spot, say the $500,000 to $700,000 range, you are in the most active part of our market. For homes priced over $800,000, buyers are definitely still out there, but not as many. So that really means, again, your strategy and presentation becomes really, really crucial. What is the big takeaway from all of this? Everett's market is still strong. It's just not as fast or as frenzied as we saw during the peak pandemic years. If you are thinking about selling in this market, it really does present an incredible opportunity, but success now truly comes from being strategic and well prepared. You might still be wondering, is now the right time for me to sell? That really just depends on you and what your personal situation is. Every home has its own story, just like you have your own unique goals. Maybe you are feeling overwhelmed by a long to-do list, or you're wondering where to even start. I'm here to help you sort it all out, whether you are starting to think about maybe making a move for yourself or helping a loved one begin theirs. Let's talk. I can walk you through what's actually working in your specific neighborhood right now and help you build your best customized plan. Just call or text me anytime. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one.